is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, closet swing traders? What is up? We got you guys piling in the regular room. We got you guys coming in on YouTube. What is happening? Hope you guys are having a fantastic start to your day already. YouTube. I don't know if oh yeah, there we go. I gotta just share a different screen, I guess. There we go. I wasn't sure if I was making it out to the YouTube land or not, but I think I am. Somebody in YouTube, if you could just hit the like button or put a comment into the chat, just so I know that that is actually broadcasting and everything is working smoothly there. All right, I think I see my charts pop up. Perfect. BEA, beautiful. You were competing with the big man this morning for eyeballs. I know. And that's why I had to extend out to YouTube. That's the reason. But we got Corey, we got D, we got Jill, Joe, Tana, Woodshed, all the guys on YouTube. Oof, that's okay. There's no competition. It's all good. It doesn't matter, you know. It just doesn't matter. At the end of the day, he's gonna throw out probably 25 trades. I'll probably throw out 25 trades. It's gonna be an exciting day. It is going to be an exciting day. But yeah, I mean it's gonna be tough going up against the big dog for sure. Let's take a quick look at the beginning of what we normally look at, which is the SPY. Let's try to figure out where we are this morning. Rock is in the house. What's up, Rock? All right, so SPY daily chart right now, pretty much mid-level. From yesterday, slightly at or below the open of yesterday, which is a little bit interesting. I mean, huge, massive move up. Eventually, it comes back. I don't think there's any dispute there. But the question is, will today? So again, it is still holding up, roughly about a 50% retrace, probably about a 618 retrace right there. So we're hanging up so far at a decent level. If this thing starts dropping under here, that's the 618. Maybe we see a pullback again to probably about 457 would be the initial spot, or maybe we could actually finally have some kind of a sell-off day. Yesterday was a retest day. No retest, decently strong candle. The gap yesterday, we did gap above a relatively good resistance zone as well. So this does have the ability to keep going. Obviously, we're starting to now get into some type of resistance zone, but even that I think is probably closer to about 466, somewhere in that range. There we go. We got Paul on YouTube, Liam, Kevin. What is happening, guys? All right, awesome. And then let's start with the Qs. We'll go drift on over to a little bit of the tech world. Again, pretty solid gap, good close for the bulls. The bulls are not really sweating at all in this market. They're loving it. Again, about the same. Nothing too crazy. I don't really see a big difference between Q, SPY right now. Everything looks almost identical. Again, we will probably have some kind of pullback, and the open of today is pretty much the open of yesterday, which it says I'm watching a break of the bearish rising wedge on the hourly chart. For the Qs, got you. All right, let's take a look at that. We probably have something like this. I mean, it's kind of like if that was your initial one, then this was your break. That day was your retest, and we took off from there. You do also have a high wave candle, huge volume, and right where we closed yesterday was above that. This thing definitely has room to keep going. But pre-market, we're back into that high wave. So this is going to be the important high wave again. If we could break out of this high wave on the hourly, we still stack bullish. All moving averages line up. We definitely could keep going bullish. I mean, it's scary, but we'll follow the trend. If we get a 10 EMA early morning, we'll take it in either direction. Because everything's kind of gapping down a little bit, I don't know necessarily that we're going to get that opportunity. So right now, let's flip this to the daily, then let's flip this over to a 3-minute just to see where those non-extended moving averages are. All right, so NVIDIA did have a little bit of a run yesterday toward the end of the day. Did not close, so the rest of the market almost closed at highs, or did close at highs. NVIDIA didn't quite get back up there, so you do have a little bit of a lower low. You're opening a little bit right at support from the previous 3 days. This is your candle with the high volume. That's the one for any bulls. It's a massive candle, but I mean, you don't want to see that broken. You'd pay a lot of money to find out though if you're just waiting for that stop to hit. And let's flip this to a 3-minute chart just to see. But it's not gapping inside or out, so I mean, we're not even going to be able to take that one right out of the gate. Yeah, so it's a little bit of a support, but you are breaking some key levels. High volume yesterday on the close. That's getting taken out. The video could be a little bit more bearish. You are below, so we might get an opportunity for a short on NVIDIA. We just need to drop, though, to the low of the day, which is 279. We have to break the lows of yesterday. So we're obviously going to have it on the watch list. We'll see AMD not making any kind of special gap. Again, high volume on the last 2 candles yesterday. On the 3-minute, those are being taken out. And this one's opening at support. This one's probably a little bit stronger than NVIDIA. But again, nothing too crazy. So we'll have to wait. But this would be below the. So yeah, honestly, bearish is the direction for right now. If we're going to get an opportunity to set it up, but we're going to need patience at the open because so far both of those no breakout of highs or lows. Tesla, same deal. So again, everything is kind of it's pulling back a little bit. All things considered, compared to that massive run, nothing, nothing too serious at all. Another little bit of a gap down. You do have on Tesla a little bit of a double top that came in. You had some type of support, 1092.98. This little pre-market move looks like that was the retest into it. And yeah, maybe we get the fade there. Again, we'd probably have to be waiting until, not that we have to go bearish at these points, because these are still decent. I mean, that's still $20 away. But for us to be able to trade it with the 10 EMA strategy, we would have to wait for that to break or the high of the day to break. And I think most likely we probably get a little bit further sell-off, but we're still decent on some of those supports. So patience is going to be the key today. So instead of Jeremy throwing out 25 trades and myself throwing out 25 trades, it might actually be closer to 24 trades each because we got to wait. This one's, was this an actual candle? Delta could qualify. All right, back to 25 each. Not to be a dead horse on the cues, but my wedge is use high of Tuesday. Are you on the daily chart or you're on the hourly chart? All right, let me flip back to that one right after this. We'll check that out. Delta, we could be looking for a short out of the gate. It does qualify. Almost, it's not quite. I was gonna say there's a little bit of a head and shoulders, but that peak was a little bit higher as far as that wick goes. It's got a little bit of that sentiment to it. You have pretty decent, strong support resistance. So if we get some kind of a bounce, we're looking for a bounce into that 39, 38 zone before we end up looking to actually go short on this one. And let me just see on as far as where VPOC is, but Delta will qualify out of the gate. It really didn't do much yesterday, and the entire market was kind of ripping. It was back and forth. Target on this one would be, at least the initial target would be 38.40. So we have about $1. We have about 60 cents to the downside. It's not a lot, Delta. But that would be the short. Probably holding it for a 1.2 if we could get it. RBLX. This one won't qualify as a trade right away. And we'll take a look at the strongest stock in the world. Apple does not know what going down is like. Has not been there yet in its career as a stock. Just goes up. At least in 2022. Here's another one bouncing. It's sitting right at some type of support. I'd be looking for a break. See if we get below 177.49. That would be my cue for let's start looking short on it, even though you are stacked all directions. But the only one we're going to get to really play is Delta out of the gate. Let's take a look at those cues one more time for Woodshed. Let's flip it back to the hourly. You're looking at a rising wedge starting 322. I don't even know what today is. I was hoping they would have the dates on the bottom. Today's the 30th, so all the way back to probably this pivot. You know, somewhere like this. Maybe somewhere like this. Looks kind of more channelish on that. I don't really see the same wedge. Sorry, the high as of 3.8. Instead of the hourly, I could probably just flip to the daily. 3.8. You're looking at something like this. All right. Yep, there you go. That's more like it. So yeah, we're still in the wedge. It is getting a little bit narrower. And yesterday we did hit the top of that wedge. So probably right now we'd be looking for like a 366 break, or 366, 367 is right at the bottom of that wedge. But yeah, I do see pretty much what you're looking at. And again, when we come down, it doesn't mean that the entire market's got to crash right away. Most likely what happens is when we get the break, let me get the annotate thing up. I'm already throwing another 5 million lines on this thing. Once this thing breaks, I expect a break, some kind of a retest, and then a break. But again, now we're on the other side of those moving averages. That was the issue we've had all in this part. Anytime we got some kind of bounce, we were using those moving averages as some type of resistance. The fact that at least on this rising wedge, we did get through it. That's a lot of that's going to start acting as some kind of support. Probably give us like a 351 target, something in there. But that would be that would definitely be the cue to the downside at least. I mean, that's still a $20 move on the cues. So we will see. Let me flip this Hood on over to Hood. Had a crazy day yesterday. Let's take a look at Hood real quick. And then if there's any other stocks that you guys want to take a look at, we still have 15 minutes. You guys can throw that into the chats. HOOD. Huge volume. Crazy breakout. Again, 25% up. But if you zoom out, it still looks like it needs 45 more days of going 25% to really look impressive. That was a decent day, though. Again, lots of volume came in. That did engulf a lot of other really sideways trading, consolidation to some extent. We have a little bit of resistance at $17. $21 and change would be the next one. And then after that, 27. But I don't know. The entire market has been ripping the last couple of days. This has been just hanging out. We have one good day. So I do expect probably this to fade a little bit. I would keep an eye on this one, see if we get a good swing trade set up somewhere down the road. Maybe if we get like one more red candle, one red day in there inside red candle, we look for a break on that. That can make sense as a swing. Lulu, someone is typing Lulu. I believe they had an upgrade. And get my chart back to where it was. Restore. So yeah, a little bit of an upgrade. It did go. It was a green day yesterday. I'd be looking for some people to take profits. Although this is a decent gap. It is gapping into a little bit of resistance. It is technically a retest gap. If we get any quick pump out of the gate, I'd be looking for some kind of fade around 370.50. Really, that 370.50. Maybe it hits 375, 376 before it wants to fade. But I think there's a gap that will get filled at some point. You were making lower highs, lower lows. You did get your break and a retest. So some people did take advantage of that move. Some people were getting into Lulu. Yeah, I think this one probably ends up fading. We might get a green candle or so just with some excitement, but I think people look to take profits. And then maybe look to as it comes down for a retest, try to re-enter. But I think they got an upgrade on Lulu. Amazon. AMZN. Pretty wild breakout. This one it did hit some type of a longer term resistance. I think a lot of these stocks are starting to hit that resistance zone. This did hit resistance. We are fading a little bit. We have depends on where this thing actually opens, but somewhere around this 33, 64, 39 zone, that would be some type of support. How I would play this one, I would actually be looking for a fade lower on this one. I think eventually to some extent, I think that level has to eventually come back for some kind of a retest. But I would probably be looking for a break and then try to short it around there, maybe stops somewhere up in this range. I think that would be the trade to go short. But again, you are breaking some kind of a decent support we had from yesterday. It even goes back to the day before, which is Monday. And that was a level we were holding. If this thing does break down, I think it comes back up. That's your time to short and then look to play that down. Stops somewhere up here. You could even throw stops. You have some type of just downtrend with those higher lows. You want to play a little safer, throw a stop right above that last previous pivot. If you need to make those stops a little bit wider. Rock says Amazon to 4,000 and then you sell. I think with time it will hit 4,000. I don't see why it wouldn't. I think some people calling for stock splits or they did get a stock split. They did got stock. Yeah. Stock split news came in a while ago. So it might not actually hit your 4,000 before that stock split. But stock split doesn't really mean anything valuation wise. It's just same dollar amount that you have in your account before, just a different amount of shares. Yeah, I think it was a 20 to 1, which is I think it's needed in all honesty. DraftKings had a decent day yesterday, up 11%. This one probably fades, I would say, to at least a 50% retracement. I'm looking for something around the 966 zone. Wouldn't make sense. That would be where I'd be looking to get long. But again, very similar to I can't remember Hood that we looked at. Just a strong breakout day. This one has a little bit more resistance. Hood has a little bit more free space ahead of it. But both, I think, just too big of a massive day. Fubo, I think, was moving a little bit too. No, not really. I thought this one was gapping. This one's just an inside day. Hasn't really caught up with the rest of the market. I mean, everybody loved this stock at $35. $30, $35. I don't quite. I like the service. I used it for the free trial. I've never actually used a credit card to pay them. So maybe that's why their stock is down. But I was hosting a birthday party and it was during football season. They gave you the free 7-day trial. So I did have the experience of using it. It worked great. You could tune into any football game. Price structure wise, like, I don't know. I don't know if it makes that much sense. So I would say if this thing was cheaper than using actual cable, then this would be a very strong stock. but the pricing is about the same, if not more, to get the live stream. So if you're looking to cut cord to save money, this is not the company you want to go with. But if you're looking just to get more access to the channels you want and just easier streaming and not deal with cable companies, then yes, I do think they have some decent product. But we could watch them. I do like that little bit of a inverted head and shoulders. You have a little bit of a neckline somewhere around 783. I'm going to keep it on my watch list just because of that inverted head and shoulders with massive volume that came in yesterday. You might see a little follow through today, but again, it's going to be tough to break that 783 zone. Rock says no more fading on DraftKings. I mean, I wish it just stopped. Unity Software had a decent little looking breakout day yesterday. This one has a little bit of inverted head and shoulders as well. So that would be probably your left. Right down there's the head. That's the right shoulder somewhere. That's a horrible straight line that I drew. But yeah, seeing any type of a retest, maybe down to about 100. So you have the 100 moving average right there. That would be a good spot if you're looking long today. You were just oversold, short time frame. That's a 5-minute chart, and that might need to recover a little bit. But some kind of just retests. If you did sell covered calls on anything yesterday, so I did sell on DraftKings, I did sell on Hood yesterday. I'll probably be looking to close those out this morning just in case we do get some kind of follow through from some of these guys. But I think just big, massive days. A lot of these smaller weird companies have. Obviously, we got to take a look at GameStop. Just absolutely clobbered everybody yesterday. I mean, this thing went from $80 to $200, almost $200 in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pigs get slaughtered. This is 7 days, 1 week, a week and 2 days of active trading days. More than 100% on GameStop. Why would you not sell and take profit? I don't get it, but why who's jumping in? Same thing. I mean, this went from $13 to almost $35. More than 100% of your money, and you get the diamond hands out there going, I'm holding until 70, and maybe it gets there. I don't know why you just wouldn't take your. I would just be like, wow, 100% in 1 day. What are you thinking? Why would you not sell? I don't know. I probably would have bailed before that, to be honest, but teach their own. Apps. So this one is not gapping or doing anything too crazy. Depends on where this one opens. I believe it's probably usually a little spready. Yeah, got a little bit of a spread in there. I would see if this thing comes back down to about 45, 50-ish in that zone. That's about a 50% retrace if you're looking to go long. On a daily chart, though, yeah, very similar to a lot of the other patterns we've seen. This one doesn't have as much of a shoulder, just kind of leveled out, almost a little bit of a flag pattern. But that's a good break. Again, I'm concerned with that moving average, the 89 that's coming up above it. That's 49.17. That's 49.17 today. We did break it, got rejected. It looks like, I don't know, something doesn't really vibe too well. Oh, that's 47. Yeah. So 49.17. So it's got about $2 to the upside before we hit that 89. There we go. That makes a little more sense. But yeah, a little bit of a flag pattern. Could see some continuation on a lot of these things. I mean, they're just absolutely getting smokehoused. Facebook. It was a decent breakout though on apps. So I would be watching for some kind of continuation. See if that mark. I mean, we're gonna have to. I do think this market pulls back at some point. I just don't know when, but a lot of these undervalued companies are probably going to get it again once the entire market comes back. The market has been ripping, and some of these guys are just starting to honestly break out. Facebook will definitely hit some resistance around 245-ish, so you have some room to the upside on this one. Again, lots of massive days. I would like to almost retest out to like 214, 215 as a better entry to try the Facebook trade. T doesn't really do much. I believe they cut their dividend, but if you do have shares, they're splitting off Discovery and something else that they had. But if you do have shares of AT&T or buying shares prior to April 3rd, I believe, you will automatically, this thing will get readjusted. And then, but you'll also get shares of Discovery. So I'm watching out. I actually don't know how that would play out, because I don't think Discovery is going to have dividends and this one gets cut. I think only reason to really own that thing is for the dividend play, but we will see. I do own some in the long term. I haven't figured out what I want to do with it yet. So just kind of scrolling through, see what happens. Beyond Das Meats. We are getting into that summertime play. I know Rock loves the summertime Beyonds. Still in a little bit of resistance. Has a little bit of resistance somewhere here around this 51.49 zone. The next target would be 58.60, but summer is around the corner. And we can start thinking about that. What do we got? 2 minutes and 30 seconds. All right, so we'll flip back. Unless you guys, TXN. Texas Instruments. I don't know what they do, but I know they make calculators. I used to use one of those. Yeah, just good, massive move into strong resistance right now. So I'd be watching very closely. I wouldn't be buying at these levels for me personally. Let me see. Monthly chart looks pretty phenomenal. That's a good bullish engulfing candle. This month is obviously still happening for another day, I believe. Does this month end tomorrow? But good bullish engulfing candle, a little bit of a high wave indecision after a pullback. It does have the ability to go, but realistically, you're very close to the all-time highs. If you like the company, it's got a good uptrend. These dips are good for the pullbacks, but this one's already ripping. I'd have to wait for this one to pull back, even for a long-term basis. I don't know if they have dividends. They do have dividends, so it's not bad. It's a solid company. They've been around forever. I could see adding them into my portfolio. I just don't know about now. Definitely has the ability to keep on crushing, and especially if we break out of that 202. But I would personally be waiting for a much bigger, broader market pullback if we get one, and then I think Texas Instrument and a bunch of those companies might be in a better spot. Delta, where's this thing opening? So we might not even get the chance right out of the gate to play that one. We'll see. Maybe we get a little pullback that would then make it qualify. But I'd be looking short for that. A lot of these other things, as much as I would like to say short, I mean, the market's kind of bouncing already. We did hit a 50% 618 retracement on a lot of these things, and we could definitely lean bullish. So I'm not going to fight the trend. Whichever trend we get set up for, I'm going to look to play it, unless we're going to be running into strong resistance before we have to hit our targets. That's the only way I'd probably end up staying away from a lot of these things. But real quick for you guys on YouTube and also in the room, we do have the mentorship starting next week in April. So that would be the first week. If you guys go to reallifetrading.com, hit the mentorship tab. I believe I do have 2 slots left for the mentorship program. So if you guys did want to check that out, it is an 8-week program. We meet once a week. We go over the market strategy setups and other cool stuff like that. Otherwise, you guys on YouTube land, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up, the like button. Appreciate you guys joining us each and every morning, and we will catch you guys tomorrow. Be safe out there in the markets. Take it easy, guys.